Well, after basically staying away from Chennai all these days, the governor of Tamil Nadu, who also happens to be the governor of Maharashtra, has finally decided we're here to fly to Chennai tomorrow afternoon. Joining us on the program tonight to look ahead at these big political developments, first we're joined by Abhishek Singhvi, Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress Party and senior spokesperson, Mr. Raju Ramachandran, former Additional Solicitor General and senior advocate of the Supreme Court, actor and activist Gautami joins us tonight from Chennai. We'll get to the rest of the panel in a moment. But Mr. Ramachandran, let me ask you first, on the constitutional crisis that we're currently seeing in the state, we have this very peculiar situation where you have a chief minister who put in his resignation. His resignation was accepted by the governor. You have a political party that has elected a new leader who's not been sworn in as chief minister, and a governor who's essentially kept away from the state completely until we are hearing now, possibly till tomorrow afternoon. Is this unprecedented according to you?
Yes, of course it's unprecedented. And the sooner this issue is resolved, the better. In my view, the governor really has no choice constitutionally but to swear in Sasikala. Much as we, or at least I speaking for myself, find it distasteful that the legislature party should have chosen a friend of the late chief minister rather than a seasoned politician as the chief minister. The point is that she has been elected. There is no question of taking back a resignation once it has been accepted. An employee can do it, perhaps, in exceptional circumstances, but not in a situation like this where events have supervened. A new leader has been elected. Where is the scope now for withdrawal of a resignation? And therefore, the governor would be well advised to put an end to the suspense and to swear in Sasikala immediately.
But Mr. Ramachandran, what is the best way at the moment for the governor to deal with this? Is the only option to swear Sasikala in as soon as possible, or should there be a floor test? Is that the fairest way to determine how many MLAs are with which leader?
There is no scope at this stage for a floor test once the previous incumbent has tendered his resignation and is continuing as a caretaker. The acceptance of the resignation makes it clear that he will continue as a caretaker now. The floor test will have to be by Sasikala, and the governor would be justified in asking Sasikala, after swearing her in, to demonstrate her strength on the floor of the house. There is no occasion for a prior floor test to see whether Panneerselvam has the majority or Sasikala has, especially when
so you're saying the floor test
the facts are different because you have
absolutely, because he's already resigned and his resignation has been accepted. Nalin Kohli of the BJP joins us as well. And Nalin, I just want to ask you on the sort of speculation that has been doing the rounds that the centre has had a hand in this, in delaying the governor going back to Chennai, and therefore ensuring that this kind of revolt takes place within the party, because the BJP is more comfortable with Mr. Panneerselvam as chief minister as opposed to Sasikala, who's an unknown force to the party. What exactly does the BJP have to say on that? Because Mr. Panneerselvam today actually said on record, I have stayed on only after the union government asked me to do so. Has the BJP had no role in Tamil Nadu?
No, staying on as a caretaker. No. Staying on as a caretaker chief minister has to take place because you can't have a government without, otherwise it'll have to be president's rule. That's simple. With regard to the BJP is not a party to this. The BJP can't be a party. We don't have a presence in Tamil Nadu in that sense. At the end of the day, somebody from the AIADMK has to become the chief minister. It can't be from the BJP or any other party. Unless the AIADMK splits and a third party comes or the DMK comes. What is important is that this situation in itself is a rather unprecedented situation. You have the schism in the AIADMK, which happens regularly in political parties. It may. On it, the questions are being raised about the death of Jayalalitha ji. Along with that, you have a situation where a judgment has to come by the Honorable Supreme Court, and which was reported by the media, as the Honorable Justices pointed out, that the judgment should be out in a week. Now, that could be Friday, that could be Monday. With regard to the governor himself, we shouldn't forget that he is the governor of Maharashtra who has an additional charge of Tamil Nadu, not vice versa. If the governor is traveling or if the governor has certain programs, they are constitutional duties that are also taking place in his capacity as the governor of the state where he was first sworn in. So you can't say there's a deliberate thing here. He is coming
but Nalin,
there. At
he
the
was
same
attending,
time, is the governor
he
not
was
entitled
attending
to
a
one
convocation
sentence,
function.
one
One second. What is so pressing for the governor? There is a constitutional crisis. There is a crisis, a political crisis in Tamil Nadu of which he holds additional charge.
I was coming to that.
There's a separate question on whether the state should actually have had a full-fledged governor and we wouldn't be staring at this problem. But he's attended a convocation in Mumbai this evening. And it's a rather unprecedented situation where he's accepted Mr. Panneerselvam's resignation but is not swearing in the new leader of the party.
No, I think pointing out the entire situation is unprecedented. Second is there is an assumption in this that the governor himself is as if holidaying and he may not be already seeking advice on the issue. And that may be well happening from legal experts. Why is that assumption being made? Because governors don't behave like party spokespersons who will come and make these things. The governor, whatever he does, has to be considered. It has to be based on the constitution. If it is not constitutionally valid, it is obviously going to be open to challenges in the courts. But to make the assumption straight away and believe that it is mala-fide, that everything he does is because of mala-fide intent, when he does also, and I may point out, Dr. Singhvi will speak, as in the last show he pointed out, under 163(2), he does have the discretion to look at a situation. You can't take that away. It's provided within the constitution.
Well, Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, Nalin Kohli says the governor is well within his rights to seek advice, to seek legal advice on this matter. Clearly, the legal fraternity also seems to be divided on this because Mr. Soli Sorabji, the former Attorney General, has actually gone on record today to say that he agrees that these are exceptional circumstances and that the governor is well within his rights to wait. Other legal experts like Mr. Raju Ramachandran don't agree. Dr. Singhvi.
Nidhi, I hope you'll give me my couple of minutes. The governor is certainly not acting as a governor. Whatever other charitable or less charitable expressions you can use about his conduct. But let's look at the law first and then the politics of it. There is absolutely nothing in the Constitution which, once the mandate for X is clear, allows any governor anywhere in India to defer, delay or not swear in. There is nothing in 163, there is nothing in convention, there is nothing in statute. Let's get that clear. So anybody, be however so high, suggesting that there is, or that the governor, as I heard, quote unquote, must wait, is not talking law or constitutional practice. Two, the reason why he cannot and should not wait is because it's not a case of Panneerselvam or Sasikala. It is negating the mandate which a governor is not authorized to do. Number three, it is no less than bizarre that a governor for the last 4 days doesn't have time to go to Chennai because of pressing engagements or like convocations. I think the explanation itself lets the cat out of the bag. It sounds frivolous, vexatious and almost funny. Fourth, you are so quick to accept a resignation, but you are so tardy and belated to swear in. Now, in the event that he was to have sworn in already, Sasikala, and on a future date, be it 3 days, 5 days, 7 days or 10 days later, the Supreme Court were to unseat her, why can't she just leave the post immediately? Where is the justification in anticipation for a governor not to swear her in? The Supreme Court doesn't give guarantees about dates when they'll give judgments.
Are you alleging that the governor is acting at the centre's behest?
1 month.
Is that your accusation, that the governor is acting at the centre's behest?
There is no question of alleging.
You're saying it.
There is no question of alleging. It is the most obvious fact and open secret across the country, and the governor is making himself the laughing butt by suggesting that he is attending convocations in Chennai. Now today, one more point. Today you have engineered a 5-day delay. Now you will engineer a further delay that despite the MLAs being clear, say all sign or all parade themselves before you, Nidhi, where is the question of your wanting a floor test? Floor test arises with this reasonable doubt. Now, floor test should not become a means as an excuse to give somebody else a chance.
Let me give
to
Nalin
engineer
a chance to respond to that, because the accusation that you're making tonight, you're accusing the governor of being an agent of the centre. Dr. Singhvi, let him respond. I'd like to go to the other panelists as well. You're saying that the governor is acting at the BJP's behest.
The BJP has gotten in the neck in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh and they are over adventurous again in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, Nalin, that's a pretty direct and serious accusation
I'll
that's
start
being
with the
made.
last comment first. No,
Yeah.
no, I heard that. I heard that. I'll start with the last comment yet. As of course, the Congress party in 100 cases of application of Article 356 and its blatant misuse for even chief ministers not picking up the phone of Indira Gandhi ji. That was of course the constitutional principles of the high standards. So let's leave the politics out of it. Obviously, the Congress party has a political angle against the BJP. They are entitled to do so. But unfortunately, the governor in this case is very much present and is part of his constitutional duties, also discharging them in Maharashtra, even if it were a convocation, and he may have other things that he is not entitled to share on television. But he's not on some introspection trip for 53 days. Let's go really clearly down that route. The next part is the Congress is fishing in waters. The discretion, as I pointed out, and if you don't believe me, you don't need to believe me, put up Article 163(2) on the screen. It's simple English, is pretty direct. I'm happy to read it out on my phone. It just says he has a discretionary power. He's entitled to look at it in a situation that is bizarre, because that is what it is. The governor himself is not in a bizarre, creating a bizarre situation. The situation unfolding is a bizarre situation. And it's also equally unprecedented. You have a situation where the Supreme Court has said we are pronouncing the judgment pretty soon. Now, I'm not saying that the BJP is going in and forming a government. If we had a stake, Dr. Singhvi could have said, oh, there's an Arunachal, there's an Uttarakhand, and I would have said 20 cases right up to the SR Bomai case. But in this case, where is the BJP going to benefit in any way
You'll
whatsoever?
benefit in the presidential
AIADMK
elections.
MLAs
You'll
have to
benefit
choose
because
it.
the AIADMK supported the NDA in the Rajya Sabha on key issues.
That way the world
But
is round.
I just want to,
The
before
world
I
is
open
round.
this up to
Anywhere
Mr.
you stand,
Ravi
every
and
route will lead to the
Gautami,
same point
I just
again.
want to ask Mr. Elangovan. Mr. Elangovan, is the DMK willing to consider extending support to Mr. Panneerselvam from outside? If you know he stakes claim, is the DMK getting into this?
No, there is no role for the DMK to play in it. When the leader, it is the history repeats. In fact, when MGR died, the party split. Now, once again, when Jayalalitha dies, the party is split. There is support for both the sides, and both the sides claim that they have the numbers. That is why we wanted a floor test. Because if that claim is not there, we would not have insisted on the numbers. But the question of governor is in charge of 2 states, but there is a crisis in one state where the governor should be present. There is no government, only a caretaker government is there. And that this juncture, not only for swearing in of the cabinet, but even otherwise, when there is no government, governor should be present in that state which is he is in charge.